All right, thank you. So you've all confirmed that you can see my screen. So that's good. So last week we tried to like did some things, created like average salary and the likes with the employee with the employee table that we have here. With the employee table that we have here. So for today, I want to introduce us to case statements. So that's like a conditional statement in SQL. A conditional statement in SQL. So for example, if this is the column for salaries, if you receive an email from your stakeholders that they want to know the employee name, they want to know the employee name, employee first name, last name, employee number, the gender, and also they want to know the if a salary is greater than 80,000, then it should be high salary. So if a salary is between 60,000 to 80,000, that should be medium salary. I just want to teach you how you can make conditional statements in SQL. So now, don't forget, we are using two tables. We are using the employee table and we are using the salary table. So the primary key here is employee number, which is also the primary key here in the salary, which is also the employee number. So that will be select. So like I said, they want to know the employee number. They want to know the first name. They want to know the last name, and they want to know the gender. So let me write it the way I wrote it last week. Now, so how do we go about that? So that will be case when first the column is salary. When salary is less than 80,000, then when salary is less than 80,000, then I. So case, let me write it like this. So when salary is greater than 80,000, then I. So again, when salary is between 60,000 and 80,000, then it should be medium. So when salary is less than 60,000, so now, since we want the rest to be low, so we don't need this other condition. So we can just say that else, that is else. That means anything that does not fit under those conditions. And obviously, when salary is greater than 80,000, that has fit the condition of above 80,000. When salary is between 60 to 80,000, it has also fixed the condition. So any salary that is less than 60,000 will obviously be low. So that is why we are saying else low. So I believe that you understand what I just did now. Then you will now say that you will now type end, which is a keyword, as salary level. So don't forget that it is from the employee table. So we have employees and we are going to join. So in our join, we are joining with the salary table. So let's call this let's call this employee table E. So let's say as E, although that's not important. So E dot E dot. So in a join with employee dot salary as S. So that will be when S dot salary S. Now this is salaries. That's why it's not appearing. So now so in our join, yes, we've gotten that. So then we are now going to say that where S dot salary is greater than 0. So what we are saying is any salary that is not greater than 0, and obviously there's no, but we don't know the database. Some people could have left, so maybe that's why they are having 0 salary. Obviously nobody should be having maybe like a 0 salary or anything. Nobody should be having that. So let's run it. So as we can see now, okay, let's have the salary beside it as well. So we have S dot salary so that we can know whether it well segregated it or not. So here you see 60,000, and we said between 60,000 to 80,000 should be medium. So that's why all those ones are medium. Okay, all the salary here are medium. That's why we are having medium here. That's why we are having medium here. So if I should push this forward to maybe 100 rows, I know that there are some salaries that are low or high, but what I just want to prove is, as you can see in this place now, it has actually, as you can see in this place now, it has actually formatted it as either high, medium, or low, and has formatted it correctly. So that's the first thing I want us to do today. Any question towards that before I move on? Any question? Any question on that before I move on? Yes, we can put it in, we can arrange in ascending and we can arrange in descending. So that's fine. Let's attempt to do that. So that will be order by and let's put it in descending. Still running, maybe because I changed it to. Now, when you use order by, obviously it's going to take time before it's finished running. Let me reduce it to 50. Or let's order it by salary level. It's taking time to run. I don't know why. I don't know why it's not running, but that should work fine with no errors. That should have worked fine with no errors. Actually, it's just saying loss of connection. So sometimes you might need to restart the server. I think it's the server that is having problem because there's no problem with the code. That's the way order by works. There's no problem with the code. You can say it's saying lost connection to my SQL server. So I think it's because it's taking time. That's why it's not giving that. But if I should restart this system and do it, that's going to work. The error is saying it's just lost connection to my SQL server. So the error is not due to the error in code. The error is due to the error is not due to the code error. Still running. I think it's the same thing. As you can see, it's loss of connection during the query. So it's not error due to anything. It's because of loss of connection. It's trying to do the order by, but it's not getting it. But that's the correct way of doing it. So, and that should work fine. Do you have any other question? Does conditional statement work for aggregate function alone? This is not even an aggregate function. Okay, there's a question here. I have a question. I have a SQL where I was told to get the second largest employee and the second lowest. I mean the second largest salary earner and the least and the second least salary earner. Okay. If you want to get let's do that. If you want to get the second largest salary earner, let's quickly do that. We want to get the second largest salary earner. Let me copy the question here. So we want to get the second largest salary earner. So if you want to do that, let's first of all do it with the salary table. So select maximum. So that's where I taught you maximum. So select maximum salary. Select maximum salary as I know what I know where I'm going now. So as maximum, then employee number. So from employees dot salaries. Select maximum salary as maximum, yeah, from employees. So now the first one I'm doing here is to get the second largest employee. So that's what I'm doing here. The second largest. So select maximum salary as, yeah, from employee salaries. So then I will now say limits equals to 2. Limits limit 2. Is it different? Limit equals to 2. This is okay. Maybe limit by 2. No. The word limit should work. I'm coming. Let's do this first. Okay. Select salary. All right. Group by employee number. All right. So we have limits. Yeah. Do you get it now? Now, so if you want to pick it now, you know that, okay, so let's link it. Let's now link it with now the highest salary here is, this is the employee number that is earning the highest salary. And this is the second largest. Do you understand? So that's how you get it. So I just said limit by 2. So if you want to find the third largest, I will say limit 3. Limit by 3. Now, the reason why I'm putting equal to is because with SQL Server, you will put equal to when you are using some other product. So the syntax are different, but with MySQL Workbench, which the product we are using, I think it's just accept limit 3. So let me attempt to we want to know their names. So let's join in with this table now. So we want to know the employee number, the first name, and the last name. So we want to know the first name and the last name. Yeah, that's perfect. So from employee salaries, then in our join with employee dot employees. So let me call this E and let me call this S. So I will have S dot salary, and here I will have E dot employee, E dot first name, E dot last name. Now, the reason why we are using group by is because this is an aggregate function. That's why we are using group by. I've not pressed delete. I didn't run it with the limits. Oh, it's going to give us error. The reason why it's going to give us error is because I'm supposed to add all these other columns for the group by. And so I'm expecting error. It's going to give us error. I'm expecting error for it. I'm supposed to add all the rest of those columns with it. Yes. That's why we are having error. So let me load it with this. So it should go now. Why is it giving error? Shouldn't give us error. Because when I joined, then there's a problem then. Because why is it giving error? I'm coming. Let me try to debug the error. Possibly it's having issues with this alias. But without, I've run it with for you, just the salary table alone. I just want to join it with the employee table. So I don't know why this server is misbehaving. Still the same thing. Why are we having this error? Okay, I'm coming. Let me debug something now. Let me not use the alias at all. Yeah, it's too ambiguous. I know he's going to complain that it's too ambiguous because two of them are bearing that. So he's going to give that complaint like it is too ambiguous. So that means that's not the issue then. It's the server that is misbehaving. Maybe it's not accepting. It's the server that is misbehaving. Yes. Let me change this to as e dot. Okay, in our join employees on, sorry, we are not putting the columns, we are joining it on, and that's why it's giving that. I wasn't putting the column, I was joining it on. That was why it's giving that error. On employee number, yes, then group by this. So it should work now. I wasn't putting the columns. This is the column we are joining it on. That is these common columns. So that is why, as a good programmer, you have to be very careful. I wasn't putting it on. I was just joining, and I was not putting it on. It should run very well now. Still running. Why is it not running? I'm coming. Let me do something. Let me debug something. I want to know whether it's the group by that is giving issue. So let me delete this. So select e dot this. So then S dot salary. I want to know where the problem is coming from. Let me have a look at this. What did we do here? Oh, we didn't put what we are joining on here as well, on employee salary and employee number. I think he's having problem with the inner joining. Okay, let's do it like this. Let's do it like that. He's having problem with the joining. So I'm trying to like figure out. So that's what I'm doing. I'm debugging now. So I want us to combine both together. What's the problem? This should work 100%. So why is he giving problem? Maybe he's having issues with the inner join. Okay. Oh, perfect. So it has worked now. Yes. I think the problem was because I started now. This happens with my SQL Workbench, not with any other product. This is the problem with my SQL Workbench because it's a free product. So some things are not some things will not work out naturally. So that's why we're having that problem. There's no difference between me putting employee salary up and putting employee and there's no difference between me putting salary table up and employee table down. So that is why it's having that issue. So let me copy it back here. Then our program should run now, and we should know the highest, or we should know the second largest employee. So this has to do with my SQL Workbench, not with the code, because there's no difference putting salary up and putting employee down. There's no difference in it. What's the problem again? Select maximum. But this has returned now. So why is it still giving error? Wait, let me run this again. Yeah, it worked here. So the problem was also because of what I didn't include there. So it has worked here. I don't know why it's not working there, but I will debug it. So that's for descending and ascending that we asked the other time. So this has worked. Let me come back to this. Let's do that of the, what did you complain of here? Let me see. What did you complain of? Error as maximum salary. Okay, let me attempt to do this. S dot and input S dot salary to and run it. These are the problems with using a free version. You know, when you pay for a version, like when you pay for a product, obviously they are going to, I'm supposed to add the S salary there. And let me change this to S employee number. So these are the problem with my SQL Workbench. There's nothing wrong with the code. So because if I should put this on my SQL server now or Oracle, it's going to run. If I should put this in my place of work with Oracle, it's going to run. There's nothing wrong with the code. The code is perfectly okay. Nothing is wrong with the code. Still saying the same thing. Let me make use of left join. So while we wait for that, let's do that of second lowest salary. So if you want to do that, I just want to join in with the employee table. Second lowest salary will be select minimum salary as minimum salary. The code is absolutely correct. I don't know why it's not running. I don't know why it's not running. The code is up. So let's use it with just one table alone. I think it's having problem with that joining. So let's use it with just one table alone. So select minimum salary, yes, from employee.salaries. Then let's have the employee number there. So that will now be limits. Since we want the second lowest, we want the second lowest. So limits by 2. So minimum salary, employee number. Yeah, so select, this should work fine. Group by employee number, because we have used an aggregate function. Whenever you see error 2013, then there's no problem with the code. Now, look at here. When I didn't put group by, it said in aggregate query without group by. So, and I put my group by there, and that was correct. So I don't know why. I think there's problem with the server. Let me put an alias s.employee. This should work normally. So why it's not working, I don't know. That's minimum. We are trying to find minimum. So why it's not working? That's what I don't know. There's no problem with that code. I didn't join with any table. There's no problem with it. Does conditional work for aggregate function alone or works with category? Yeah, it works with aggregate function too. So if I want to use it with average salary, I could do this with average salary as well. What I mean is, instead of me having just salary here, I could say case when average salary is this and average salary is that. So it can work with it. I could work with aggregate functions here and it's going to work as well. I could work with aggregate function and it's going to work. I think something is wrong with the server. Select star from employees.salaries. Let me refresh it by giving it a fresh code. What I'm selecting all the columns there. I want to really know what is wrong with the. So that's the problem with. So when you see error 2013, know that just restart your system. But because we are in a class, I can't restart my system now. Now look at this. Is there anything wrong with this code? Employees, the salaries. This is salaries. Is there anything wrong with the code? Let's respond. At least, even if you don't know how to type any code, you know how to retrieve. Let's respond now. Is there anything wrong with this last one? Select star from this. So when you see error 2013, you can only see it in my SQL workbench. When you see error 2013, yes. So there's nothing wrong with it. So when you see error 2013, nothing is wrong with the code. Nothing. Nothing is wrong with the code. Now, this one that ran before, if I should test it again, let's test it if it's going to run too. Remember that this one ran before. Okay, it returned. So it's just selecting the ones you want to return. It's actually just selecting the ones you want to return. Employees dot. I'm coming. Let me create a new. It's just being selective of the ones it wants to return. So I think I've answered that question now for second largest employee and second lowest. All you need to introduce is the what? The limits. Limit 2. That's all you need to introduce. So for the largest will be maximum, and for the second lowest is going to be minimum. It's going to be minimum. And you just need to say limit 2, and that should be fine. Do you understand it now? Please respond to me. Did you get it? All right, thank you very much. So it's the server that is misbehaving, but let me open a fresh page. So select employees dot. I want to click on those tables as they bring it out and see if it's going to run now. It should not take this long. So this one is server problem now. It should not take long. I'm not doing any aggregation. I'm expecting an error. It should not take long at all. Okay. It should not take anything long at all. Now, there's no error here. Dot departments. Let me run it. It's the same thing. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do except if I put everything off. Let me just copy all of this. Since this is what we did today, we still got like 7 minutes. So let me cancel and possibly don't save. The simplest of code is not even running. Let me save this. So this has to do with, when you are using a software that is free, sometimes it can just, the network can just go away. So that's why you can't see companies using MySQL Workbench. They won't use MySQL Workbench. But at least you get the logic. That was a very good question. And all I did was just to use maximum and minimum and limit. What will the limit be? If it's the third largest, can we type it? It's going to be the limit 3. That's fine. And if it's the third, maybe this that is from the back, the third list is going to be 30 as well. So all you need to do is just to put limits. I've restarted. Let's see if it's going to work. Let me just do a very simple one again. Select star from employees dot you still have like 5 minutes left, so I want to test it again. So this is not a problem with the code now. It should run very fast. This code should run very fast. So except I restart the system, that's when it's going to run. So if I don't restart the system, it will not run. So there's no problem. There's no problem with the code. So I just try to prove to you that this code, there's no problem with it. There's no problem with this code. And I've saved it. I've saved it. So next week, so let me announce that next week is going to be the last class. And I'm happy that somebody brought a very good question on SQL, which is the third largest. So bring any question that you feel is very useful. Bring any question next week. And I will restart the system. I will restart my system after this. And maybe before next week too, I'm going to restart my system so that there won't be, this is what we call cache. So is this to say that this is not advisable to use SQL to write long codes? No, you can use SQL to write long codes. But in my SQL Workbench, because it's a free version, so you might be experiencing some caches. I believe we know what cache is. If you know what cache is, can you give me a reaction? So software people know what cache is. That is, you have a software and normally it's behaving, is misbehaving because there are some caches running underneath that are not supposed to run. So that is what a free version will give you. So if I should restart my system now, even on your system, just type, I believe that you have my SQL Workbench, just type this and restart. It's going to work. At least we've run several code. So cache is like what we call like temporary memory. So, but the paid version of the product, like my SQL Server, Oracle, SQLite, it's the reason why it is paid is because all those caches have been removed. So there you will not have any problem in running those programs at all. You will not have any issues at all in running it. You will not have any issues at all in running it. So next week, bring all your questions. And like I've said, before next week Sunday, I'm going to send the projects that you are going to do. I'm going to send all the projects you are going to do. So kindly bring any question. Although if nobody comes up with any question, I still have what I want to teach next week as well. So if you gain something in the class, just give me a reaction. If you have gained something, at least you have gained that. If you are running the code and you are sure that the code is okay, then you know that it's cache. If you have gained something, just give me a reaction. Yes, especially because it's a what? It's a free version. If you are working in a company, I don't experience this kind of challenge because I'm working with a paid SQL, SQL Server product, that is Microsoft product or Oracle products. I've used Oracle before, and I've used MySQL, and I've used Microsoft SQL Server before. I've used both before. And there's no problem with. I've never experienced error 2013 before. It's only on my SQL Workbench. So in my place of work, I don't experience this error that lost connection to my SQL server. So it doesn't happen. So that's the good thing of working in a company. It doesn't happen like that. So it happens because of cache. And when I restart my system, the cache clears away and I'm able to work on my SQL bench again, and there will be no issues. So I will see you guys next week. And kindly, I will send the video in the next 48 to in the next 48 hours, between 24 to 48 hours as well. So you as well, just restart your system and try to I will also send this code to you, run it on your system, and that will give you the second largest employee, and also run it on your system. It will also give you the second, what's the second question? The second lowest employee. And I will run it here next week for you again. Hope now I would have restarted my system then. So thank you very much. I'll see you guys next week. Thank you and bye for now.